What's up? What's up, Grav? But boys, Zombo's here, good, Zal's, Robbie, Cardinal's here, all the boys are here. I think more people show up as we go on. But yeah, she's kind of nervous. I told her not to be nervous. Like, it's more casual than it seems, even though it kind of seems professional. As professional as I've tried to make it. Can I go on it? Shut the fuck up. Don't read that. Don't read that. Alright, anyways, guys. This is the first Simp Patrol episode number 1. Pilot episode. We have a long way to come from here, but you know what? This is it. This is... She's reading it! We're going to have a long way to come from here. And hopefully build on it and get better. But this is the first episode. It's gonna be. So let me preface here, for all the people who might hate me for my provocative title of my show. The point of this show is that I am trying to help a certain population the specific demographic being like the weaker man children in society, more so the simps. And what I have found is that a lot of weaker men are divided into 2 categories, okay? I like to call half the super simps and then the super haters on the other side. The super haters are basically just a upgraded version of the simp, not in a good way, but they've like morphed and evolved. And basically the super simps are the guys who just roll out the red carpet for every woman they see, trying to gain approval from any woman at all costs. And then the haters are the guys who were like the simps, but then kept getting denied by women, and now they hate women. And so I think it's a big problem in society with how weak men are. They're either chasing women and like stalking them, blaming women for their problems. And then, they're just overall hateful. A lot of those guys can be. And then a lot of the super simps who like stick up for women and are constantly trying to protect them or white knight them will lash back at other men for no reason, trying to also gain approval. So a woman might complain about a man, and then the guys will come to the rescue, be like, "Oh yeah, he's terrible," and they'll hate on other men for no reason, simply because they're so weak that they're trying to gain the approval of the woman. So this show is kind of just a fun show that I'm going to be doing simply to talk to different women from my college about their experiences they've had with weak men. And I'm trying to teach weak men that like being a super simp or being a hater doesn't make you alpha. And being a super simp is not like the way either to like gain attraction from a woman, or just they think logically, because if I agree with her or if I make her happy, if she's happy with me, then she's gonna like me. That's the logic, right? But it's not black and white like that. It's a lot more complicated than that. I mean, it's simple, but it's also complicated. It's like intricate, I guess. But so this is the show dedicated to this. This is the first one, and I'm excited to do it and be here. And so let me introduce you. This is Amanda. You can say hi and wave. Hi. What's up, Teddy? How's it going? So I'm going to be asking her some questions, and we're just going to be talking. I'm going to go in depth about just certain things. And I will talk. I have a set of questions I'm going to ask her, and I will elaborate on some of her experiences. And maybe she can answer some of them, or she can't. It depends. Some of them are weird. Like, have you ever been stalked? Maybe she has, or maybe she hasn't. So we'll get to that point. Bro, what the fuck? I was nice to a girl and she got angry at me? Feet pics? Okay, yeah. Alright, anyways. So how long have you been in college, roughly?
Almost a year now.
Almost a year? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
You made a lot of friends?
Yeah.
Hung out with a lot of guys or whatever here and there.
Yeah, we go out a lot. So.
You're going out tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
After this, she's going out tonight after this. So we're on a schedule here. So do you consider yourself savvy with the game? Like, do you think that when you're hanging out with guys, like, you're very aware of what's going on? Like, if you want a guy's attention, you can get it.
Yeah, boys are pretty easy to read.
Yep. God. Boy, I would have to agree with that, especially in, like, currently in society with how everything is. Okay, so first main question, like, are you conscious about it? Like, do you recall running into weak men or boys in your life, ones that may have seemed desperate for you, or ones that were incredibly mean to you because you weren't interested? I mean, how many times has that happened roughly, or has it happened?
Yeah, like, a lot of the times, like, when you go out, there's a lot of, like, insecure boys who, like, you know, come up and, like, fawn over you and, like...
Right. Okay.
Get upset if you don't talk back to them. Like, if you just, like, ignore them and pretend they're not there, they get really mad and, like, you know, talk more, and it's like...
Right. Would you say that, like... Would you, like, say that you alter your behavior whenever guys come around to, like, feel them out and see what they're up to? Like, do you think, like, women are, like, kind of closing off to kind of engage, like, what's going on with this guy? And you're going to see if he's desperate or if there's something fucking wrong with him.
Yeah, like, I mean, most of the times, like, girls notice before a guy walks up to them if they're going to or not. So,
okay.
Like, you can tell, like, if they've been, like, standing across a bar just, like, staring at you the whole time.
Right.
And then he walks up to you, you're going to be a little more, like, standoffish. But, like, if they come up with more confidence and stuff, like, the first 5 minutes definitely, like, affect how it's going to go.
Right, but when they walk up to you, if they do confidently or what, are there ever times where you don't like it? And you do like it? Would
Both,
you?
yeah.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what I'm trying to say is when they start talking... Will you decide whether you're going to be nice to them or not, or try to get them to go away? Do you think you're more nice to guys who seem like desperate and weird towards you, or do you think you kind of let them know that you're not interested and you kind of want them to go away? Or do you?
It's hard. Like, most of the time, I'm pretty nice to everyone, and then, like, you, like, throw subtle hints, and once they, like, don't take those, then you, like,
right.
kind of switch your attitude a little bit.
Right. Okay. Okay, yeah, so when dealing with these boys that were desperate for you, how long would it take you to notice they're desperate? Like, from when they start talking? Instantly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you, like, when you're looking at them, can you, like, see it in their eyes, or is it, just like, their demeanor? It's just a vibe? Or,
yeah, like, by the way they say hi, you can tell.
Or they're like, hi,
yeah.
or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's, okay, all right. How would a lot of these guys? How would this affect how you see them? Do you end up becoming friends with them, or do they just kind of run off? Or, you know, any nice guys, maybe back in high school perhaps, or even maybe right when you got to college, guys that were, like, too nice and desperate. Did you ever become friends with them, or do you have enough friends and, like, you just hang out with your girls and just kind of, like, they run off? Or do you recall any guys who may have seemed desperate for you and you actually friend zoned them simply because that's the way they acted? Or
yeah,
do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Okay, so there's, like, two groups of, like, I don't want to say, like, insecure guys that talk to you, but, like, you know, they don't have confidence or anything.
Right.
There's, like, a super creepy kind and, like, a sweet, like, aww.
Right. But
so, like, that group is very much so, like, you'll be not, or, okay, I am nice, and, like, I've made friends with a couple of them, and then, like, the guys that just come off, like, you know, like, super creepy, that just, like, want to know everything about you, where you live, what you're doing, all this.
Right.
Like, you definitely, I don't talk to them anymore.
Like, they got, like, a serial killer look, kind of. Like, they're kind of, like...
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, when these guys are coming up to you, talking to you, would they constantly disrespect themselves to gain your approval? And what I mean by that is, would they seem to agree with you on everything and even flip on something they previously told you? Like, after hearing you didn't like it. So, do you recall any instances of that happening where guys would you would start a conversation and you notice that just everything is, he likes what you like. And and he is always agreeing with you, and it just seems to be perfect, right? Do you ever...
Yeah, like, you know, if you get a drink and they order the same drink as you, and then, like, you know, you talk about shoes or whatever, and they like the same shoes as you, and it's just, like, there's no point in talking, because it's, like, there's no conversation, like, it's not interesting. It's just, like, okay, I'm talking to myself.
Right, it's almost like an interview like I'm doing now, kind of. It's like almost like 21 questions or something, like... Or like sometimes guys they'll be like, where you from? They'll be like, oh, I'm from, Northern Florida. And you're like, oh, Northern Florida. And they repeat what you just said to you. Does that happen a lot? They seem like nervous and like they just can't fucking talk and shit. Like, and they go, oh yeah, so how long you been going to UCF or whatever? 2 years. Oh, 2 years. Oh, okay. Does that kind of shit happens too? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, actually, I want to keep going on that question. So, have you ever consciously noticed, like, when you say something, like a guy says something, and then you don't like it, and then he flips on what he says? Now all of a sudden, he's agreeing with you on it. Have you ever actually consciously noticed that, or no?
Yeah, most of the time, like, I mean, just growing up, like, not in today's society, but, like, watching Criminal Minds and all that stuff, like, there's a lot of creepy stuff that happens, and so, like, you just notice when, like, if you're sitting there and you, like, I don't know.
But I mean, do you feel a certain way when it happens? Do you feel kind of... I don't want to lead you on. Like, I want it to be a legit answer from you, but it's not positive.
It's not, like, annoying, but it's not, like, interesting either. It's just like, okay, like,
right. Why would you
change your answer? Like, I don't care if you don't like peanut butter and jelly just because I do. It doesn't matter.
Right, exactly.
So it's just like, it's weird.
For me personally, when I see men do it, because I'm kind of aware of what's going on, it cringes me out. It kind of hurts me physically when I see it because of just the amount of self-respect that they lack. Mm-hmm. That's a lack of self-respect. You know what I mean? Simply, I'm going to disrespect what I like simply just to, like, have a commonality with you and agree with you so that, you'll like me. You know what I mean? And so I personally hate it. So I just want to see how you feel about it yourself and any times it's ever happened to you. So maybe perhaps guys that you didn't become friends with, like a previous question, like, do you become friends with some of these guys, or maybe they just run off? Did these nice guys ever eventually spill out their feelings to you? If so, how did you handle it? Did they continue being your friend? Does this ever happen to you? Guys are just like, I like you so much, and, like,
Yeah, normally they don't like tell you to your face. So it's a lot, like, they'll just, like, text you. Okay, in my experience,
right?
Like, if I become friends with them, and then I'd say, like, not more than 2 weeks, he'll tell you, he'll be like, oh, like, I really like you, like, I wish we could be in a relationship. And most of the time I'm just like, you're really nice, but I don't really want to make our
right. And you were well aware of how nice this person was and how much they liked you way before this.
Yeah.
Like the moment you met them. Pretty much.
Like, by the first conversation, you can just tell by, like, their body language and everything if they're
right. Would you agree that you think the eyes are, like, the biggest giveaway with kind of how wide their eyes are, how they're looking at you, that connects the bridge or whatever? Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Just want to see what you think about the eyes. But so would they continue being your friend after you would kind of tell them to,
For a little bit, but after that, not so much. They're just like, okay, well.
Right, because they couldn't get the feeling they were chasing when they were chasing you, right? So, like, what I try to tell people is a lot of these guys are these simps who are constantly disrespecting themselves for the woman's approval, or a man-child, and to begin with, is like when they see you, they're basically trying to just replace their mother with you, right? Because they like girls, and there's a girl I like, she makes me feel good, but they're old enough to the point where it's a little weird to be babied by their mother, but at the same time, not only will they feel good if they're getting attention from you, but it's also going to like, they think in their mind, based off how pretty a girl is, if she's this pretty, this is going to make me this valuable to myself. It's going to make me better than I see myself currently. They're doing it because they're weak. They're trying to feel better about themselves, and they use it as an emotional crutch. And that's essentially why they're doing it. So as soon as you like say like no or whatever, then you really get your answer, right? It's like these people never cared to be friends in the first place, and they don't see how it's disrespectful. But in the middle of it,
is it okay to have man boobs and milk comes out? In her opinion,
what the fuck? I didn't know Texas Speech was on. What's up? Okay, I will ask her that. No, I'll tell you what he said. Just hold on 1 second. Okay. Give me 1 second. I gotta turn off fucking Texas Speech. Jesus. I turned it off on Bits. Okay, we're good. Perfect. I'll tell you what he said in a moment. Here, I want to... Damn it. See, my ADHD, I got sidetracked with my question. Hold on. Where was I now? They're trying to gain your approval. Like, they're doing nice things for you. They're telling you nice things, and they're trying to do things for you, and it seems good to them. Look what I'm doing for her, and they think they're virtuous. But in reality, they don't know how bad they're disrespecting themselves and disrespecting you by trying to deceive you. You know what I mean?
And it's like, like, they don't really like you. Like, when a guy comes up to you and is like, I'm in love with you, after like 3 days, you're like, you don't even know who I am.
Right,
so, like,
right. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Stop.
Right. They haven't been in a relationship with you at all, so how could they love you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's another red flag that I've noticed with guys is that if guys are head over heels for a woman when they first meet, or they have like a crush beforehand, it's like you haven't been in a relationship, you haven't kissed her, you haven't done anything intimate, you haven't bonded, you haven't done shit, and they're just like obsessed already feeling something. That's a huge red flag, because what they're seeing is the potential feeling that they can gain if they get you. They don't really like you.
Yeah.
They're telling you what they think you want to hear in order to get that feeling from you. Get that feeling, right? And that's what's pathetic about it. A lot of these guys don't see that. But they brute force it, right? They continue to say nice shit to you. They continue just to keep fucking trying. Have you ever had guys do that? Like, you told them off once, and then like a week or two later, they're like, please, you don't understand how much I like you. I'll do this, and that for you. Has that ever happened? Like, more than once you've told them to fuck off, or?
Yeah, but not so much in person. They do it more like...
Always in text?
Yeah.
Always on text?
Yeah.
And do you feel it's kind of low tier on text?
Yeah.
Not that you want to be bothered by them in person, but at the same time, it might be a waste of time because you don't care anyway, but...
Yeah. It's just like... anyone can say whatever they want on text, and then, like, it doesn't really matter because you can delete it, and it, like, you can act like it never happened.
Right.
But it's like...
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, see, I mean, this is a big problem. See, like, some of the things we just discussed now are like the whole crux of it is that these simps and these super simps and these super haters are they are trying to, they don't really understand. They're not consciously aware of the problems they have and the emotional instability that they have. They're literally just doing anything they can at all costs to get that feeling that they need because they can't support themselves emotionally. And so it's like you almost can't hold it against them, but at the same time, women are like structured so well to like see that shit. Like you see it right away. Girls aren't fucking stupid. You can't fool them. And that's why I tell like these guys who go on pickup artists, they're trying to sell to the population of these weak men. They say, hey, look, we know you want women really badly. And they do, right? For that feeling, because they can't support themselves. And they say, look, we will tell you how to behave and get those women. So they're trying to circumvent go around, trying to strengthen themselves emotionally and give them what they want. Like, it's too good to be true. Like, you telling me I can have this super hot girl and I won't have to work on myself and become a man or anything? And they're like, you're damn right. So a lot of the pickup artists are trying to take advantage of that. And they try to tell these men simply, if you behave like this, you can get these girls. But girls see right through that shit because these guys are so weak that they don't have the confidence to actually uphold these actions of men who actually respect themselves. They're just too weak to actually make a woman mad or disagree with her or anything. So they can't fucking do it. And that's why pickup artists are a complete scam. Is because they're leading men in the wrong direction to try and make money off them. They're trying to basically take advantage of weak men. So have you ever had, so upon a man spilling his feelings out to you, have you ever seen the immediate reaction of the hater where he started blaming you and started calling you rude things? Like names?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but not so much like in person, never.
Never in person.
But like...
But it's... Okay, that's interesting.
But like,
okay, watch out for that. Yeah, you're good.
Sorry. Okay. So like when a guy like DMs you and you're like, oh, like, sorry, like, I have a boyfriend, or, you don't answer, then it's like...
Do you use
you're just a slut anyway, so like... It doesn't matter.
So they do flip because they're nice, but then as soon as you say no, they're like, oh, you're a slut and this and that.
Yeah, and then it's like if you say
right,
okay, then they respond. They're like, but like, what are you doing? And it's like,
right.
I don't know, being a slut, I guess.
Right, being a slut. You just called me a slut yesterday, and see, that's the thing. That's the problem. I just want to say that weak men are the problem in societies because when you have a simp turn into a super hater. Now, these guys are so jaded or, they've been so fucked over that whenever they look for women now, and whenever they see a woman having sex or they hear about it, they're like, oh, she's a slut. Mm-hmm. They want to bring women down, and that's why women feel less open about who they're having sex with and all this other shit because all these hater men and hater women, too. There's a lot of hater women out there who talk shit, too. It's a bunch of weak people trying to bring other people down because these weak people can't get that emotional validation of support for themselves, so they just become haters. And they're like, you're a slut, you're a whore, they call everybody names. And that's another big problem with these super simps and these super haters is that they're trying to bring the rest of the population down with them, like the crab in the bucket. Mm-hmm. Like a crab's trying to escape out of the bucket, other crabs and pull them back in. Like, they don't want anybody to be happy. They want people to feel as bad as them. And they don't realize, like, how much... emotional strength or lacking self-respect, the majority of it. They just have, they're so unaware. Squad W's. Alright, let's go on here. Do you have any embarrassing text messages / DMs from boys who are desperate for you and trying to please you that you might be able to share? If not, we understand. Do you have any?
Yeah.
Say okay. All right. Well, let me look at it before we. I don't know if it'll be good to show. Hold on here. I don't know if it's. Did you change his name?
No.
Does this look like?
I can scratch it out.
Does this look? Oh, is this a picture?
Yeah. There's 3 of them.
Ooh, perfect. Can you just cover up any kind of?
Yeah.
Just make it so that it's text only. I don't know what that name means, but. Just scratch out the name, so we'll wait a second. Yeah, that's what we're going above and beyond, trying to not identify anyone here. Please don't hurt my feelings. Oh, and while you're doing that, I can ask you a question sent in.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really know if it's a serious question. Dietrich donated $2. Is it okay to have man boobs and milk comes out? In her opinion. What? Dude, she's not internet savvy, you fucking assholes. You fucking. Alright, did you scratch them out?
Yeah, and then it's that way.
You start here and then slide over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I just cropped his
Yeah, I'm not gonna tap.
Oh shoot. Can you see it in that one?
Does it say his name?
No, okay.
This looks pretty plain to me. Okay. Oh God. Alright, so I'm gonna read it. And Okay, I'm going to read it to you guys, and then I'll show you the message, okay? So that you can see. I stopped answering because you got sexual and I have a boyfriend. You could have said that, lol. True. That's even better, though, to be honest. She says, why? Because I know a man like me could never satisfy you. Oh, yikes, dude. Oh, man. Okay. She says, why is that? Because I'm ugly and my dick's small. Sorry to hear that. She's just sorry to hear. Oh, my God. This is super cringe. I don't even know if he's fucking trolling. Like, since I'm from the internet, I would perceive this as trolling.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like this is serious. Do you think this was serious, or do you think he was messing with you?
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
Right? No.
Weird.
I understand. Like, hold on here. I'm gonna show them. Oh, it's flipped. You can't read it, but okay. I'm gonna go to the next one. I'll read it to you guys. Hold on. Oh, it's the same one. Don't waste.
Like his conversation.
Oh, it's his conversation.
Yeah.
Don't waste time being sorry for a guy like me. She says, okay. Yeah, I'm a pathetic excuse for a man. So let me stop right there. So this angle this guy's taking, remember, he's a weak man. He has no means of emotional support. And so what he's doing is he was trying something, you said no, and now he's playing like this card of trying to like bait guilt out of you, or like trying to like feel some sympathy that maybe you might go, like a mother, oh, it's okay, I'll like you now, or like I'll be there for you. Like he thinks in his head, like some fucking odd reason, he thinks that you're just gonna come around and want to save him, like you're his fucking mother.
Yeah.
It's fucking pathetic. But I mean, sometimes I get worked up just because of how cringe it is. But here, let's go to the next one. I'm a pathetic excuse for a man. Next one. No way. Oh my gosh, she didn't answer. It's just him. I'm not a man. I'm a little bitch boy. You're superior in every way, to be honest. And your BF is too. He probably has a way bigger dick. Do you still want money?
Yeah, so like the beginning of the
Jesus
conversation,
fucking Christ, you have the cringiest fucking... This is insane. Like, I wasn't expecting this shit. Dude, fucking Christ. Oh my God, bro.
Yeah,
Holy
there's been like this one guy that like I went to high school with.
Right, and I'm listening.
And he'll Snapchat me and I just like don't answer. He goes to school in Tallahassee. He'll be like, come see me, and I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, like, just come do it. And I'm like, no. And so I liked his picture on Instagram, just like going through.
Right.
So he DMs me, and he's like, so you can like my picture but not text me back. And I just like read that and didn't answer because I was like, okay, I guess I won't like your picture.
Right.
And then he sent me like, he like flicked me off, like, like the little emoji or whatever.
Right.
And I didn't answer that. And he was like, so when are you going to come see me? Like, all in my DMs. And I was like...
He keeps banging his head on the wall to try to come get you. Or
to
to...
I'm like, it's just weird. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I understand completely. It's insane. I didn't understand. I didn't think you would have messages that bad. So would you say... Okay, so let's go in deeper. Do your friends get messages similar? All the fucking time? Is this like how many times a week... I mean, you try to limit it, obviously.
Yeah,
you don't want these fucking people messaging you.
Not like super often, but
right.
Probably 2-3 times a month.
Okay. Because you work to avoid it ever happening. Like, you don't want his number. You actively, like, the fuck away from me, right?
Yeah, and, like, I haven't ever, but one of the girls I was with that you met, she's had, like, old men, like, DM her, like, be my sugar baby, like, and I'm like...
Have guys tried to get you to be their sugar baby?
Not, like, old people, but I've definitely had, like, I don't even know, like, 2 weeks ago, this boy, like, didn't answer his Snapchat or anything. I didn't say anything, and he Venmo'd me $20. And I was like, how did you even find that? Like,
that's insane.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't even give you, like, anything.
That's kind of scary.
And I was like, okay, this is just weird. Like, I didn't give you my Venmo. I don't give you any of my stuff. Like, how did you even know?
Right.
And it's just like...
Jeez, yeah, that's actually insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's good that you like actively work to limit. Like, see,
it's just weird.
what's
No one
happening.
wants that.
See,
No
like
one
pay
wants that.
pay attention to this. Like these super simps just brute force it. Like they're doing anything they can, and so like a lot of these guys, social status matters in life. It does. People want somebody who is similar social status to them, and also similar self-respect and similar emotional maturity. But a lot of guys, unfortunately in life, you can get away with having a ton of social status to hide all your other problems, and kind of like, oh, he's super famous, he's gonna get girls anyway. But a lot of those girls probably, and most likely, don't stick around. I think that's why you hear about a lot of stories about like rich guys getting cheated on, is because they're such a piece of shit. Like, man, they're like they're putting women on the pedestal. Like, I've given you this car, I've given you this big house, I've given you everything, and then you go cheat on me. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. Now, while I think that cheating is not the correct option, but it does happen. But the man thinks he's completely not at fault. But these guys will completely avoid trying to become a better person and just use money and social status to hide shit. And then things bite them in the ass later, right? So, I mean, that's always interesting. You just really don't want to like get away from trying to work on yourself. And like the whole sugar baby thing. I knew a girl that had 3 sugar daddies. She's like, she didn't have to have sex with them at all. She lives in she moved over to Nevada, but they would just take her everywhere. And she was like, all right, whatever. And see, that's the thing, is like some girls would just be like, okay, fuck it. You want to give me all this shit? I'm not going to sleep with you, but I'll take all your shit anyways. And these guys are like, maybe she'll change her mind. I'll just keep giving her more money. And then, maybe one day she'll see how nice I am. I'm just going to be the nicest, and then maybe she'll sleep with me. Yeah. And it just never happens. And I'm trying to show these guys that simping and going overboard like this is not the way to happiness. And once they start working on themselves and start like actually becoming a better person and stronger and having more self-respect, their whole paradigm on the whole thing's going to change once they learn how to like find fulfillment in life. They want to know your Venmo. No, I'm just joking. That means like sarcasm. That okay. Email, yeah, okay. All right. Anyways, don't. If they ask a crazy question, don't answer it. Have you ever? Oh yeah. This is kind of what we just talked about. I said, have you ever gotten weird messages on Instagram of men asking you to marry them, send feet pics, or potentially pay you money for sexual services? Actually, has that ever happened to you? Like the whole marry me, has that ever happened? Like random like person from another country or anything like that? Okay.
I don't know. It's more just like money.
Okay.
It's not ever like...
Okay. But there's guys always just wanting to give you money. Like they truly think that money is how you just feel attraction. Like that's how women work. It's just based on money alone. And they literally just brute force that, huh? You've had that happen though, for sure. Mm-hmm. And your friends too? Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So when guys would get angry with you after you turn them away, what was your reaction to boys who got very angry with you? Or like how did you feel specifically? I just say okay, like it's whatever. Just like dirt off my shoulders, I'm done. Like you're used to it.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't ever really bother me. It never really has. So
you're always able to stand up for yourself, uphold self-respect, and be like, no, I don't want this. I don't like this, or I'm uncomfortable, or whatever. Right?
Yeah, I mean it's
easy to you. Like you don't care what kind of emotions you're used to expecting negative emotions so much because you've turned down so many boys or whatever. You've dealt with so many weird guys. It's nothing to you.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Right.
I mean, they could call me all sorts of names, and I'm like, all right, like that's cool.
I mean, it's good exercise to become you're doing life.
Yeah.
You're enduring weird shit, right? Like negative emotions all the time. You're having to turn boys down, so you're doing life here, and you're going through like just the ups and downs of life, while these guys hide in their room. Avoid negative feelings and pain. Meanwhile, you deal with it all the time. And so they can't fucking handle it at all while you can.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean?
definitely like hits your ego if you're like hitting on a boy and he's like no, and then it's like oh okay.
We haven't got to that part yet.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna get there.
All right.
I'm trying to stay in order, but
Okay,
I definitely want to hear about that shit too, for sure.
Okay.
What is a simp? Actually, good idea. I forgot to read what the definition of a simp was in the intro. So for those who don't know, I'll read it for you actually right here. Just let me read we'll continue with the questions here in a second. Let me read to them what a simp is for them. This is the definition on Urban Dictionary, the highest voted Urban Dictionary definition of simp. All right, here it is, boys. A man that puts himself in a subservient / submissive position under women in hopes of winning them over, without the female bringing anything to the table. A man that puts too much value on a female for no reason. A man that prides himself with chivalry in hopes of getting sexual gratification from women. A square with no game other than rolling out the red carpet for every female. The perfect example of a simp man would be the role Eddie Murphy played in the movie Norbit, the role of Kevin James in the show King of Queens, I think? Yeah. A yes dear man simp. That is the definition of a simp, the highest voted on Urban Dictionary. This is a good definition, I'd say, to explain what a simp is. All right, here, let's go. So when after you deal with a lot of these men that you deny, did you predict that? Were you able to predict which guys would get mad at you and which guys would just kind of play that whole feel sorry for myself role? Were you able to predict which ones might get mad at you and which ones might not? Or were you totally surprised by it a lot of the time?
I mean, you know it's going to be one or the other, but
right.
I've never been able to tell, like, if they're going to get mad or not.
Right. Okay.
So.
Okay. Did any of these super nice guys or mean man children ever stalk you? Whether it was before they spilled their feelings out or after? Has this ever happened to you?
Not necessarily stalk, but there was this one kid in high school who, like, told me he was in love with me, whatever, and I was like, okay, like, not interested, whatever,
right,
and it went on for, like, 3 months, and so eventually I just, like, blocked him on everything. I was like, stop, like, you're creeping me out.
Right.
So I blocked him on all social media. He would make fake Instagrams to DM me. He'd make fake Snapchats, so I would, like, add him and he'd talk again. And then, like, at one point, he, like, got my mother's phone number and called her.
What?
Yeah. He called my mom and was like, hey, like, I just need to talk to your daughter. And my mom was like, this is really fucking creepy, like...
That's fucking weird.
Yeah. And I haven't heard from him, like, since, like, my mom was like, what the fuck? Until yesterday.
Wait, when was the first time this was in high school he called your mom? And now you just heard from this guy again yesterday?
Yeah. Like, I have been blocked on everything, and then he, like...
How did he... So he
made a new Instagram, but it has his name on it.
You blocked him literally on everything, and he's like... How long ago was this he called your mom incident?
Like a year and a half ago.
A year and a half?
Yeah. I don't know, like beginning of
Jesus,
yeah.
This is when I decided to do this show, I thought there would be like good stories, like this. I'm actually shocked. This is a shock to me. I'm enjoying myself right now, actually, just talking to you about this. I didn't that's incredible that's nuts,
weird.
Dude. That is
and
so crazy.
He doesn't like get the idea that like I don't want to talk to him.
Right.
And he'll make new accounts with like his same name. I'm not saying make a different name and like add someone, but I'm
Right.
He uses his same name and he's like trying to like it'll be like his name 123, his name 1234, and it's like
right, dude. That's insane.
It's like I don't know what you're trying to do.
But and then what? Do you ever get to see his message, or do you just block it immediately? Or
I don't ever add him back. I just keep blocking it.
That's honestly freaking creepy. It kind of makes me weird about having a daughter when I get older.
Yeah, I don't ever open anything he says just because, like, I don't care to know.
Right. Yeah, see, like, all these super simps and super haters, man, you guys think, now I'm not saying my chat is, but any simps out there listening, this is not the way, okay? Brute forcing, being nice, and being virtuous to gain approval from a woman and all this other shit is fucking gross, okay? It's the reason why I'm doing this show is because I think fucking weak men need to get, slapped in the face a little bit to pay fucking attention about, like, how life really is. So that's why we're interviewing Amanda here, who comes from the real world, not the internet like you guys, and actually talking to somebody who knows what's going on here. Okay, most importantly, have you ever felt scared of any of these men/boys that they might try to rape you, or like maybe even, I'm not saying kill you, but have you ever felt scared?
Just like most of them, like when you like block them, they're just like okay, and they like move on most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you keep trying, like that one kid, definitely have been scared, like especially before I came to college and like moved out.
Do you carry mace?
Like pepper spray.
Yeah, you do. Sick.
I also have a taser.
I
really want to try it.
You got a taser? Yeah. Okay, well, we're not gonna try it on me. I kind of always wanted to see what those are like, honestly. But that's good. Good for you. That's good that you have you have a solid father who briefed you well, probably. And was like, you gotta watch out for these creepers or whatever. Okay, that's good.
I mean, I never really like. Not that I never go.
How much to tase Lockwood? No, fuck you, dude. I don't care what you donate. I'm not getting tased right now. I'm trying to finish my show. They want to pay you money to tase me. No, that'd be terrible. You can't do that on Twitch. All right. Okay, so now we're going on to the section of men you were attracted to. Okay? Men you did find attractive. So let's see here. Let's start here. So, a question says, what about guys you were attracted to? Did they ever do any of the things mentioned above, like we just talked about?
No.
Nope. That's the answer I expected. No. What seemed different about them? You don't have to get in. You can get into detail if you like, but you don't.
Just like their confidence and like. Yeah, pretty much their confidence. You can just like.
Right, and so when you say confidence, you mean you do something perhaps, or somebody else does something, and then you're expecting a reaction of some sort out of them, and they're not really fazed by it. Right? They're kind of. They just carry themselves in such a way where they just seem kind of calm the entire time and not really concerned too much with anything. You or any other people, they're just very like to themselves. Does that sound correct?
Like,
yes and no? Okay. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Definitely like not as phased by like if I say no, they're not like oh my god. But
right.
They're still like interested, like they're still like keep the conversation going.
A general interest, but not this I need you shit. Right. So I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean that sounds absolutely correct, honestly. Did they ever do anything creepy to you? No. Or else they'd be in that other fucking category, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they ever have a look of desperation in their eyes for you?
No.
No. Jay's Lock, they all want you to date. Fuck you guys, bro. Did they and so like we just kind of already went over this question, but I said, did they seem more confident? What I mean by is, did they seem not bothered by much in a situation where most would seem shaken? And you kind of agreed to that. You agreed to that. But it's not something you really focus on. You just kind of, it's just more of they're giving you space, kind of. Like there's boundaries a little bit. They're not all over you and you're not all over them, right?
Right. Like,
you're just kind of feeling each other out. Does that sound accurate or?
Yeah, like if I were to like turn around and like walk away, they wouldn't be like following me to wherever I went. So like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's good. It's like that guy when they're like, where'd you meet her? I'm not gonna tell you where I met her, but I met her out and about, and there was a guy. I had actually talked to her, and there was a guy there that was like trying to like hit on their group of friends, and she actually said that guy ended up following them around the club the entire night, and they went to the bathroom like several times to try to get rid of him, but he was like out there waiting for you.
Yeah, he would just like stand by the door, and we'd like walk like to different bars and stuff, and he would just follow us.
Right.
And we're like, hey.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. So with guys you were attracted to, Did you find yourself... Now, what I mean by that is not some random guy that you met at the club and he was cute and a kiss or some other bullshit happened or one night stand or anything like that. But I'm saying like guys that you were interested in long term, like you got to see them, like there was always a chance for you to see them, whether it be at class or maybe you work or whatever. Mm-hmm. So guys that you were interested in, like more kind of a long term, that you knew them or whatever. Did you find yourself chasing them more than they chased you, or about even? You can be honest. Was it a lot more fun dealing with these guys? Like for you. Like, it's a cat and mouse game, right? It's more fun, to me at least. You don't have to agree with me. But I would assume that you would think it's more fun. Now, was it about even, or would you find yourself chasing them and actually enjoyed it?
It depends on, like, the time period. Like, for most of my experiences, it started with them chasing me more and me just being like, no. And then, like, once they back off a little, then it's like, oh, wait, like, I want to talk to you.
Wait, you're not giving me attention anymore.
Then, like,
right.
They'll start talking to you more, and it's just back and forth of who, like, chases more, but it's, in the end, it's pretty even. Right. But, I mean, if she's interested, she'll definitely, like...
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. Did you enjoy chasing them whenever, where you were like, finally, like, maybe
definitely more interesting.
Like, you get to, like, kind of flex your, how pretty you are, your confidence, your personality. Like, you actually have to try a little bit to, like, keep him around. Like, it's like, oh, he shows interest in you, and then you're like, haha, I don't care, okay, I'm doing something today. And then he's like not trying to keep texting you and everything because he's like emotionally stable and he has other things to do, and now you're like, wait, why isn't he chasing me anymore? Yeah. And now it's kind of like your turn to like maybe try to get his attention again, and you'd find that fun, right?
Yeah, and like then in the end, like if you do end up in like a relationship or whatever, they actually like you because like I don't know how long. It goes on for like a couple months, but like you like get to know them and like
there's more value to the relationship. Well, there's more value to it, right? Because if you got some guy at the club and he's coming to you, he's like, I'll do anything or whatever, and it's just like, I can have you instantly. Mm-hmm. You're pathetic. You're disrespecting yourself. You're disrespecting me. You're lying to me. Just everything we talked about earlier, and you can have him instantly. Mm-hmm. It's like easy come, easy go, right? This guy can't support himself. It's just like there's no value. In like, there was no chase. Like, you didn't have to work to gain anything. Like, this isn't a valuable human in the social status ladder or whatever. He's got fucking problems. But meanwhile, if you're having to actually work towards chasing a guy because he's not overly validating you, he's not disrespecting himself, he actually has a life, actually has to do things on his own, and he looks out for his own emotional well-being, then you'd actually have to like get his attention because he's busy with other things and he's not so concerned with you, and that would make it more fun, and you would probably get to know them better. I agree. I think everything you said is like 100% fucking accurate. If you have anything to add, you can. I'll go on to the next question here though. Were they mean to you, but in a playful way that you were attracted to? Like, and were you also mean to them and they never got offended or like, oh, I got a small dick and I know you probably hate me and all this stuff?
Yeah, it's not like, I mean, definitely been like, like not play fight. Yeah, like play fighting, but it's not ever like creepy, like sexual. Like, it's always like, I can't think of an example.
It's like socially aware playful. Like, you guys are both on the same page and you're just kind of, it's kind of like a banter, right? It's like you're kind of like, right, I get what you're saying. No, it's not like a creepy fucking like serious.
Yeah, it's never like
those other guys. It's like life or death, like every question, right?
And it's not ever like calling you names or anything. It's just like I can't think of an example. Let me think. Like, I can't think of an example.
It's okay. Like, you're fine.
It's not ever like super mean, like calling you names or like anything sexual. It's most of the time just like play fighting about like dumb stuff that doesn't matter. Right, like do this for me, and he's like, no, you do yourself or whatever. Yeah. Like he actually has to like, it's not like, okay, I'll do it for you. Yeah, it's just like maybe just some bullshit like that.
I know for me personally, when I've been at the club, I've had women ask me to do shit for them, and I used to be serious when I tell them to fuck off, but but now I kind of take a more playful tone to not be, so like if a woman asks me to take her picture or something, I'm like, what do I look like your boyfriend or something? Like, get that guy to take it. I'll like point to somebody else. I'm not gonna do that for you. And like, but I won't be like, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah. I'll try to be a little bit more playful. And in the past, I was kind of always bad with that. But now that whole playful tone is always a lot better. I think it's a lot more normal. If people ever get too serious like that, or if they ever get like those desperate fucking simps, and they get all serious, it's just never fun. And it's always, I think it's a red flag to like both men and women, because some women can be a little bit weird too. I've ran into a lot of weird women myself who were always very serious. Always took things to heart, had a very weak ego. Like, it was impossible to banter with them. Like, so I notice a lot of times when if I try to banter with how I want to banter, which is usually pretty hard, sometimes women will get very offended by me. So I kind of have to try to tone it back myself. But whenever I find a girl that can take my shit, it's always fun. And so and that's what it's about. That's that whole playful banter shit and telling each other no and being mean to each other is seeing if, like, the shit that you dish out, can he handle it? And the shit that he dishes out to you, can you handle it? And it's like, oh, you can. Mm-hmm. Well, that means that we could probably exist together for like a certain period of time, right? There's a method to the madness brought on by Mother Nature or whatever. There's a reason for all this shit, and that's what I'm trying to make clear to people who are watching now and everything. Right. Okay, so this is kind of like the last question. I've been told, this is kind of the same thing we just talked about. I said, I've been told by girls who date a lot and are very good with game that they love men who are assholes because they are the biggest challenge to them to make a girl like them. Because they're the biggest challenge to make them like the girl. Do you feel the same way? Do you see it as an opportunity to flex your skills / feminine and win them over? So when you consider the kind of guys that you like to banter with, what do you like, the really big assholes like this girl I met, or do you like the guys who are kind of mean, like a soft asshole? Like, what's your biggest challenge? Like, what do you personally like to go
there's
for?
definitely like a balance. Like, if you're just straight mean all the time, it's like,
Right.
okay, like,
Right.
I don't really want to talk to you. But I mean, the same goes the opposite way. Like, if you're just like complimenting me the whole time, it's like, okay, well, that's not fun either.
Right.
So
Right.
there's definitely a balance. But I mean, you don't want to straight just be a dick, but like,
Right. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. For those listening, I went out like 2 years ago. I had a girl at the club. I'm not gonna say what club it was. I was at a club. I was at a bar, and I had a girl tell me that. It was a blonde girl, and she's like, I like the assholes. I like the guys who want nothing to do with me. The guys who look at me like I'm terrible, and those are my favorite ones, because for her, those were the biggest challenge. So that's why a lot of girls say they like assholes, but then they're like, what about the girls who say they like nice guys? Like the simps, right? Maybe there's girls who actually appreciate everything the simps are doing, but that's a red flag, because what that means is that those girls don't get any validation and they're desperate for it. So if men are willing to just give them that disrespectful validation, where these guys are trying to deceive them, disrespect themselves to gain her approval, and the girls are okay with that. It's like, you're telling me the girl is okay with watching you disrespect yourself in order to gain her approval, and she's like, oh, I like nice guys. Basically what that says to me as a guy is that she's weak as well, just like they're weak, these man-children simps. So, I mean, it goes both ways. So when I see a girl who likes really mean guys, that means she's very tough and can take it. And that's when I know those are like the girls that interest me more personally. And so when I had that girl tell me that 2 years ago, it really made me think about when I was going out, about like, what was really going on, and it kind of started to make me really understand the whole game, the whole process of it to begin with.
I think there's definitely, like, I like the back and forth, like, mean, nice, like, And then, like, if you were to get in a relationship, obviously, like...
It reaches a point where it's like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
I know what you're like. I can be around you. You know what I'm like. You can be around me. I like your attention, or, you know, I like your sex, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I think we should be together. I think we being together is an enhancement to our life, not that we need each other for emotional support, right?
That's, like, the worst. Like, there's 2 guys that I went to high school with, and they were both in, like, I don't know, 2-year relationships, whatever. They broke up, and then both of them, ever since, like, a year and a half later, whatever.
Right.
They've both been, like, super depressed and super needy, and, like, I need a girlfriend, like, that'll make me happy, like, as long as I have a girlfriend, like, my life will be better. And, like, one of them actually moved here, not, like, to Orlando, and he's like, fuck Orlando, like, this is the worst thing ever,
right.
Like, I'm so unhappy, and it's like, you just can't blame all that on, like, your city. You just need to, like, figure your shit out.
Right. I mean, but that's a lot of. Remember, I said, like, those haters. They blame everybody else, right?
Yeah.
They blame women. They blame everybody else. It's anybody but them, right? Why can't they just maybe consider that it's them? Their ego's too weak. They can't do it. They're just too weak of people, too weak of simps, weak man children to ever admit that, hey, you know, it might be me. I might be the fucking problem. It's like, hey, I go approach 6,000 different girls at all the different clubs, and it ends up the same. They all tell me they don't like me, or like I'm too weird or whatever. And it's like, no, it's like they're the problem. It's like, oh really? Those 6,000 girls are the problem. And it's like, it's not you. It's like you might be the variable that is like the thing that's fucking it up, and they still don't fucking get it.
Yeah, it's like, along with, like, the confidence, like, you have to be happy. Like, if you come up to me super sad and you just want me to, like, give you my sympathy and, like, sit there and listen to you.
That's pathetic.
It's like,
why would you?
I don't want to talk to you. Like,
right,
you're just bringing my mood down. Like, I'm trying to have a good time, and, like, you're sitting here, like, crying your eyes out. Like, what do you
Right,
doing?
exactly. So, why do they think that you would want to get with that, too? And let's look at it. Like, let's say you were older. Like, let's say you were, like, 35 and you had a grown man doing that. Would you want to, like, get with him and have children with him?
No.
Absolutely not. She said no before I finished the sentence. Being a fucking weak simp man-child, begging for women's sympathy and shit, is a sign of a fucking child that you need to be taking. You need to, like, you're emotionally immature and you're not fit to be a man and raise a child yourself, which is the end goal of the whole dating process in the end. So if you got some man, like, down on his knees, like, oh, if you're sorry for me, it's like, dude, she's not gonna have fucking kids with you when you can't even support yourself emotionally. Like, you have no self-respect. And so what kind of role model would you be for kids if you had children? They're gonna be looking up to some weak simp man learning all these terrible things. And that's why women aren't attracted to it. Because if they do have kids in the future, those kids are going to look up towards a role model who's strong. And that's the whole point, man, is finding somebody who's emotionally the same as you, has the same self-respect, and it's all for a fucking reason, man. And that's why I'm doing this show, asking these questions, because I'm trying to show the guys out there the truth. I'm not trying to, because a lot of girls, you ask them, it's like, what do you want in a guy? And you see all on the fucking YouTube videos, they say, oh, I want a guy who's, like, nice and respectful. And so these guys are like, that's me. And they get on their knees or whatever, and they're like, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. And it's like, well, wait a second. You tried this with the last girl, it didn't work, and now you're trying with her, and it's like, it's not working. It's like, are you ever going to change what you're doing, or maybe change yourself, right? And these guys just don't fucking take a hint. So I'm out here trying to make them take a fucking hint. You know what I mean? These guys need to get a fucking grip, dude. They need to get a fucking grip. All the simps need to get a grip. I'm fucking sick of it. It hurts me to see it. And I want to help them. And I don't hold it against anyone. I don't judge them for it. I simply just want these guys to get out of their comfort bubble. Stop disrespecting themselves. Stop reaching up to women. And, stop being pathetic. You guys need to go work on your emotional strength. And that's why I have everything down in my bio about that shit. I got my self-improvement basics down there, talking about how man-children are formed and all that other shit. And I'm trying to teach y'all how to jumpstart your emotional growing process again. And so that's why I'm interviewing Amanda today, is simply because I'm just like, well, let's ask her about her experiences with weak men, and let's let her go over it. And sure enough, every question was answered accurately to how I thought it would be. And I mean, I hope people have learned something here today about it. But is there anything else you'd like to add, or is there any anybody any questions maybe, or wait, go ahead. No,
I wouldn't say like, you know, if you're meeting a girl out at the bar, I wouldn't say you go up to her and just like be a dick to start out. Like if you're like
right.
sweet, and then like you throw in like.
Or what about if you just be neutral?
Yeah.
Just like you're not being mean or nice. You just kind of like hey, here I am.
Yeah. And
you just kind of start a conversation of maybe about current events, or you just like maybe they see you doing something. Every situation is going to be different, right? So
yeah.
No, you go ahead and continue what you're saying. So like, you can finish your thought.
I mean, I would definitely like not add one slick comment into the conversation, but it definitely helps. I'm not saying start out with that, but.
How do you feel when guys start giving you weird looks, like when you start talking just normally, and then they start looking at you kind of like, and they maybe like feel a little back? Like, how do you feel about like kind of facial expressions and stuff like that?
They're easy to read. Like, you can tell if they're like give you a look and you're like, what? Then I'm like, okay, I'll just turn my seat this way and talk to the other person. Like,
right. Okay, so you'd say that like you think that a lot of the body language is probably more important, especially when you're trying to find out if, you know, I mean, especially when you see that they're a weak man, right? It's always body language. It's always body language. Or the tone of their voice, right? Their voice might be shaking, like they're scared of like, if I fuck up getting her approval, hi, you're really pretty, right? And so like you can just like immediately tell. I mean, I'm over exaggerating, but no, I get that. I'm a guy, you know, obviously. I've done a lot of talking myself. I did most of it in 2018, and I've been through my shit, been through my fair share of shit too. You know what I mean? So like, I kind of know I know what it's like to be that weak and stuff, and that's why I really want to help these guys. But at the same time, I'm trying to prove that point. But I get it, and that's why I said I don't hold it against anybody.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely like scary going up to someone like new random person and like talking to them, because like.
Yeah,
I mean, I do it. Not that I'm very confident when I go out, but if there's like a boy that I'm interested, like I'll walk up to him. And
I was just about to ask you if you'll walk up to guys.
And like, I mean,
and so what catches your eye about it? Is it more that he's just kind of to himself, maybe looks like he's having a good time, or you think he's cute, or is it like a combination of everything?
If he's cute and like having fun, like you don't want to go out and like there's some sad boy, like you're not gonna walk up to him. You're just
right, like he's got fucking problems. Stay
like,
away from me.
I don't want to deal with that.
You should be at home, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
and it's like,
that's fair. That's a fair statement.
I mean, it's definitely like scary going to talking to someone new and like, but like you just can't be scared of rejection. Like if they're like, I'm not interested, then you're like, oh well, there's 3 billion other boys in the world. I'll find one. Like whatever.
Right. No. Getting used to rejection's a big deal for a lot of these. I think. It's kind of what I tell some of these guys in here is that when you constantly approach women, I personally think it's super validating to them at first. Like I think it's like kind of like, oh, look how interested he is. I think a lot of guys who get women don't really approach too much, in my opinion. That's what I think. I'm not saying you can't do it, but that's why I try to tell people, I was like, people are afraid of rejection, like. You just need to go out and get rejected, bro. You got to face the fear. You need to get the fuck over it. You need to figure it out, and that kind of jump starts their emotional growing process again, because they're starting to feel pain. Because guess what? That's a rejection is like that is a direct hit to your ego, right?
Yeah.
They're rejecting you, and that is the hardest hit you can take to your ego. So when you practice self-respect, you practice handling rejection, and you practice all these negative feelings that these man-children have been ignoring. It will make you stronger and start sculpting your ego again. Like you can literally remold your ego and become a stronger person, and that goes for women as well. Does rejection bother you?
No, not really.
No, that's good. Yeah, see.
I mean, like it hurts, but it's like
right, but
you get over it. It's
but you
like,
learn the skill of getting over it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
you're gonna feel better. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I don't mean.
Like it's like, damn, like he didn't like me, but then it's like.
Right.
Okay, like it's not like you'll be sad about it for days at all. Like it's like 5 minutes later, you're like, oh, there's another cute boy.
Right, right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, those are all fair statements. Let me see if I can think of anything else here. Does anybody else have a fucking question? We back to running, getting over it? Why, who said that? Why'd you say that, Cardinal? So any of you guys got a question? That is pretty much concludes. I'm born again virgin. All right, Cody. But anyways, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. She's got to get going here soon. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Well, we're wrapping up the show now, kind of. And then I'm going to continue to stream. We can continue to talk, but I have to escort her out. But does she think you're cute? Shut the fuck up. I'd ask a question, but I'd get banned. Yeah, I know you would, Springy. Please don't ask a question. Does she approve of anime? Do you like anime? Do you know what anime is?
I mean, like.
Okay.
I know. Never mind. I can't say that.
No.
No, I can't say that. I've never.
Do you have a brother? Do you have a brother who watches anime?
No.
Okay. All right. Well.
Does
she
really
like anime? She's not a weeb, guys. She's a normie. Dude, you guys gotta know she's a fucking normie. Come on now. Oh, okay. Yeah. Good question here. What are the most... You're asking me that, or do you want to ask her that? Her. Okay. Do you ever... Okay, what are your most common... So do you ever consciously test men? Like, do you ever say, I'm going to do something, like you're consciously thinking about it, like I'm going to do this and see how he reacts. So what are the most common shit tests and passes and fails? Any real world examples you have? Like,
okay.
you ever consciously test men?
Yeah, so there's definitely like tests for like when you first meet them and like when you're in a relationship.
Right.
So like when you first meet them, like I always say something that I know they're going to disagree with just to see, like, what they say. Like, if they're like, oh, yeah, like, that's cool. Or if, like...
Right, okay.
I mean, like, if they're, like, chill about it and, like, oh, like, we just have a difference of opinion, then it's like, all right, like, we'll keep talking. And then it's, like, if you're in a relationship and, like, what I always think of is, like, you know, if you, like, lose your luggage or, like, you know, something, like... Something
Take
like
your time.
annoying
Take your
happens.
time.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
you're
like
good.
think of the right words.
Right.
Something annoying happens, like the way they handle that situation. Like,
Right.
if they lose their shit over some like a lost bag, then it's like,
right.
That's weird. Like,
right.
Get over it.
Like just normal situations, like if they get all like crazy, like.
Yeah, like anything that like would make a boy mad or like a person mad, like
Mm-hmm.
you know, like something broke. Like if you're like, oh, now I gotta fix it, or like. Fuck me, like this is a piece of shit.
Or maybe you subconsciously refer to how your father would handle a situation. So a good role model you did learn from growing up. Like your dad wouldn't get mad at this kind of petty shit, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said it's a big deal that like to have a strong father, you know, your kids pay attention to that shit. For me, I tell them a lot of the shit tests. I think the first test in my experience that women always fucking do, and you can agree with me on this. I actually just saw a video released on YouTube about it. It's like, why do women always change the plans of a date or, like, say they're too busy? And so that always happens. And that happened to me recently is I was talking to a girl on a dating app, and I just make my move. I don't like flirting on text. Mm-hmm. I hate it. I don't do it. It overly validates the woman, and they won't meet you. So I just said, like, if I want to see if I'm interested or she's going to see if I'm interested, I say, like, let's go out here at this place at this time, and I just simply make a move. I don't say, will you go out with me? Mm-hmm. Like, reaching up to her. I say, let's go. Mm-hmm. It's important. So, like let's go. And then she'd be like, oh, yeah, I got plans, or I'm super busy, and da-da-da-da-da, and I'm just so busy, and all this other shit. And I'm like, or they'll say yes and then try to change it and then say they're busy. So it doesn't matter which one happens. As soon as they do that to me, I go, all right, that's too bad. And I don't chase them. And they don't like, a girl got mad at me for that, actually. I said, oh, that's too bad. And that's all I said. She wrote back to me. I ignored her. And then she wrote back, oh, okay. Is that how it's going to be, huh? Lol. Yeah, okay, bye. That's what
then she gets more interested. She's like, wait, you don't want to go again?
She was 20. She was 25. She's, why aren't you trying to make the date work with me? Like, aren't I pretty enough? Like, that's what's going through her head, and that's what happened to her. And so I said, why'd you get so upset right away? I said, that's interesting. You got upset over nothing. She's like, I'm not upset. I said, look, I'm gonna tell you how it really is. I said, you're pissed off I didn't chase you for the date. I said, now you're threatening to leave me like a child. I said, look, when you want to talk to me like an adult, I said, you can't. Or I said, if you are interested in weak men, I said, I'm probably not the man for you. So if you want to stop talking to me, you'd be doing me a favor. So go ahead and stop talking to me. I really don't care. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. She said, I'm sorry like 3 times. And I was like, yeah, now the ball's in my court. Because that's the first shit test that women always do, all right? They fucking change plans and they try to see how hard you try to like make the date work. They always fucking do it. And so I'm used to it. So whenever they do that, I go, oh, that's a shame. And I don't even try again. I fucking, if I want to try again, I'll try again in like 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, most boys are like, okay, so like, what about the next
So be honest. Have you ever intentionally acted like you were busy to see if they would try to make the date work and all that shit? You can be open. Yeah. This show's about being open because we're really just, it's not about hiding our game anymore. We're trying to like let these man children like know the deal. You know what I mean? So if you haven't, then say no.
I mean, yeah, and there's definitely times where it's like, you'll be like talking and like flirting and then he's like, oh, like, let's go out. And you're like, oh, you actually want to go out? Okay. And then it's like, they make a plan and then you're like, I don't really want to. And then if they do what you did, then it's like, oh, okay, so like maybe I should go out. Like they're not creepy. Like it's fine.
Right.
But if they're like, say you cancel like 3 times in a row, like that's, I've definitely done that. Like I've been like, oh yeah, like we can go, and then I'm like, oh, something came up.
Right.
And then if it's like more than 3 times and they're still asking me out, I'm like, okay, I'm never gonna go out with you.
I think 3 times would be my max. Okay, my max, and I'm talking. I suggest going
definitely
out.
Like space it out, not day after day.
2 weeks. I ask or I suggest we go out. No, she says no or does that shit. Oh, it's too bad. 2 weeks later, hey, let's go out this time. You know, I'm free. Let's go out. No, oh, I can't. I'm busy. Oh, what a shame. I ask a 3rd time and she's like, oh, I'm busy. I'm like, okay, I won't even reply back. That's it.
Yeah, I
maybe
mean,
3 times max.
Like after like twice, if I'm interested, I'll ask. I'll be like, all right, like, do you want to go to dinner?
Right. Okay. Yeah, this is all good stuff. Yo, Shanatis, did we answer your question all right or what? He's still there. But anyways, guys, when you approached, you asked to be... What? That wasn't even English. You have another, if you got time, ask it. Yeah, we're really running late, but I think we've had such a good time doing this. But if you got time, ask if she has ever dated someone who games a lot. Did it affect their relationship? How did it turn out?
I have. It doesn't really matter as long as, like I don't mind sitting there and, like, hanging out while a boy's doing that because, like, you know, I could sit there on social media. Like, it doesn't bother me as long as, like, it's not you still go out on dates and you still do other things. Like, it's not revolved around your gaming life.
Right, but if they're...
never an issue. Like,
but if they're sitting there for, like, 8 or 10 hours a day, forget it.
Yeah, that's, like...
way too much.
It's, like, I still want to be paid attention to.
Yep.
I understand, like, you're into your stuff. It's just like dating a boy that plays sports. Like, it doesn't matter that he plays sports and he's busy and doing things. It's just, like, at some point, like, I still want attention too.
Oh! Okay, no, yeah. No, keep going. Finish your thought. I'm sorry,
Oh, no, you're good.
I saw something.
I mean, that's pretty much
They're trying to out me. When Woody... They call me... My last name's Lockwood, so they call me Woody.
Okay.
When Woody approached you to ask you to be on the stream, what did you think of him? Did he come across as desperate/confident?
Okay, so... I met him at first, like, with my...
Don't say where, though. Don't,
okay.
hide everything.
Right.
But you can say with your friends or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't say where,
my group of friends. He was talking to all of us. Some of them were from, like, out of town, so, like, obviously that wasn't going to work. And it was, like, normal. I mean...
You can rip me if you want. You can be like my initial thought of you. Go ahead. Don't try to hide it.
We were like a couple drinks in already, and he was standing there, and he was just like standing against the wall, and like we noticed him before. Like I noticed you before you started talking to us. Like I was like,
right.
He was standing there. We were like having a good time, whatever. He walked up, started talking about it, and at first, no one in my family is into like gaming. Like I haven't grown up with brothers that are into it or anything. So, like, I had no idea what he was talking about. He was, like, starting to tell me about his show, and I was like, I don't know what that means, but
I asked y'all if you... I first asked y'all if you knew what Twitch was.
Yeah, and I had no idea.
You fucking had no clue. Your blonde friend...
Yeah.
She had a brother that that does it.
Yeah, so she knew, and she was like... I don't know, after a while, he just, like, walked away, like, we did our own thing, whatever. And she was, like, telling me about it, and then...
I approached you again.
Yeah, he came up to me again.
Yeah.
And just talked about it.
Yeah.
And, like, I was like, okay, I'll do it. And
yeah. Absolutely. So I just went off to go talk to other girls. Like, I was just... At that point, when I met her, I'd already talked to, like, 6 or 7, maybe 8 women. And none of them knew what Twitch was, so I was getting fed up. I was like... That's why when I started talking to them, I was like, hey, can I chat with you guys for a second? And they're like, yeah, sure. They all looked at me, her and both her friends. And I was like, hey, and I think I said, I was like, hey, well, you know, I'm not exactly here to like party and date. I said, I just want to ask first off, do you guys know what Twitch is? And then they're like, oh, no. And then the blonde girl's like, no, wait, I know what it is. And it was like she like won a prize or something. I was like, okay, fucking. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it happened. So, was he desperate and creepy? So, he was desperate and creepy. Got it. Gotta go. Oh, fucking God. Y'all are crazy. But anyways, she has to go. We're kind of over the time limit. But yeah, I've had a great time. If I forget anything, you know, I will add on to it the more I do this in the future. Maybe we could potentially see you again way down the line and talk about other things if I have some more ideas, possibly. But as of right now, I'm going to continue streaming, but I'm going to escort her out, and I'll be back, guys. And yeah, I guess that's the end of the show. We'll talk about it after when I get back here, and everybody appreciate Amanda's time. Give her hearts. Give her hearts and smileys and stuff. Be nice. They're posting fucking stupid like little emotes. I'm in love, marry me. All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna escort her out, and I'll be back. Okay, guys. And I'm just gonna mute the mic too, and then I'll be right back. Okay.